Hey y'all, welcome back to Sip and Dip with Chelsea. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you 3 dipping powder designs. I'll be showing y'all a French manicure, a rose quartz design, and baby boomer. Peel base will be my best friend today as I pop off the nail after each design. I will leave my peel base routine linked up above if you're looking to switch up your manicures often, but if not, make sure to prep your nails to last. If you saw my last OPI review video, you know I fell in love with the powders. So that is what I'm going to use today. Just these two, y'all, Bubble Bath and Funny Bunny for all of these designs. And it works beautifully. Spoiler alert. I had every intention of trying Sparkling Co's liquids with these. But y'all, I went to go film this and I don't have their base liquid on hand. So I'm back to the OPI liquid. So you'll get to see another review with designs with these liquids and powders. First up is the baby boomer. So I've got my fluffy eyeshadow brush here. I'll have 2 of them. I have my base liquid and everything is out and ready. I've got my 2 brushes for each color. I've got my jars open because we do need to move quickly when we're doing dip powder designs. To get started, I'm just going to remove the excess product on my brush. Here's about how much I have on there. We're going to do a full layer across our entire nail, going all the way to those sidewall areas and making sure we do not get this on our skin. Then I'm going to dip my brush into the white powder. I personally like to leave my finger level. So notice I'm just tapping it on and rolling my finger side to side. This is going to help me get all the way over to those sidewalls. I like to leave my finger level because I feel like it gives me more control over the powder placement. So once I'm happy with it, I'm going to tap off that excess powder in a downward motion. And notice I see I've got a bare spot over on that sidewall. I'm just going to fill that in real quick and then tap it off. This is all in real time and how fast I'm moving. Now I'm just going to quickly grab my pink and do the same thing, except this time all we have to do is just make sure we cover the entire nail. So I'm just quickly covering the nail before that base liquid dries and then tapping off the excess powder. All right, here's how we're looking. So I'm going to dust it off once it's completely dry, and then with my base liquid, do another full layer across the entire nail. But this time, you guys, we're going to start with the pink. I like to alternate the colors because I feel like it gives a more seamless ombre blend. So I'm starting up at my cuticle area and working my way down. Again, rolling my finger side to side, keeping my finger level so I have control of the powder. And notice when I tap off that excess, I'm making sure the excess goes back in my cuticle area and not down in the white. Notice how I do that here? So next we're gonna do the white. So again, dip your brush in the powder and just tap it at your free edge area first, working your way back up into the pink. All of this is in real time, no edits, nothing is sped up. Once I'm happy with it, I point my finger in a downward motion to tap off the excess, and here it is. Once it's fully dry, I dust it off, and now we have a beautifully blended baby boomer design. So let's clear encapsulate it to protect it. So we're gonna do another full layer across the entire nail and then dip into the clear. This will protect that when we file and shape. Once it's fully dry, then we dust it off, and now it's time to activate. So apply a very generous layer of this and let it dry for 2 minutes before you file and shape. So with the 180 grit side of my file, I'm just going around that free edge area first, and then with a buffing block, I'm just gonna quickly go over top to make sure it's nice and smooth. Once I'm done, then I'm going to dust off that excess powder there and apply another layer of activator. We're going to let this dry again for 2 minutes before we do top coat. For the top coat, the first layer is just going to be 3 quick strokes on the nail. So 1, 2, 3. And then once that's dry, we're going to go in for our second coat. The second coat's more precise and detailed, moving a little bit slower, getting all the way over to those sidewall areas, and of course, capping off that free edge. So I'm going to let that top coat fully dry and then apply some cuticle oil. And here it is, a beautifully blended baby boomer design. For the rose quartz look, you're going to need 2 swatches. As you can see, mine already have some color on there because I did practice this. I think I'm most excited to show y'all this design because I've never shown it on my channel before. So I've got my base liquid here, everything's out and ready. I'm gonna do a full layer across my entire nail again, getting all the way to those sidewalls and just doing a thin, even layer. Then with my swatch stick, I'm gonna get a teensy tiny bit of white and we're gonna go right above our nail, just hovering very closely and tapping it ever so slightly and slowly into a line motion. Then I'm going to come over here to make another little line to make it look like it has those rose quartz stone veins. Then I'm going to tap off the excess on my swatch stick, not on my nail, and just pour the pink over top. So you don't have to be any detailed with this, just pour it right over top and fully coat the nail. Once I have it fully coated, I'm going to tap it off, and then once it's dry, I'm going to dust off the excess. So the second layer with our base liquid is going to be another full coat coverage going across the entire nail, making sure you get all the way to those sidewalls and not on your skin. Then we're going to get a little bit of white on our swatch stick again, and I'm going to go over top of that first line. But it does not need to be perfect. You'll see here I don't go all the way to that first line's edge, and I'm going to trace this one, but again, it does not need to be perfect. So we're going to go to this edge here just to create some dimension, and then I'm going to also do a little line up at my cuticle area. This is in real time, no edits, nothing is sped up, so you can see just how slowly I'm moving, and you get a gauge of the dry time for this liquid. So we're gonna not tap off our nail, so leave it there to soak into it, and then just pouring the pink over top again. Once I have the nail fully coated, I'm going to tap off the excess. And once this is fully dry, then I'm going to dust it all off. So this next step is going to be optional. You can definitely stop here, but I needed a little pop, something to brighten it up, and I just love foils. So I have this little foil set here. I'm going to tear off a tiny little corner, and then I'm going to break that into tiny pieces. Then with my base liquid, I'm just going to put it sporadically on the nail where I want to place the foil pieces. Now, you don't have to do this with your base brush, okay? You can definitely use a toothpick to pick it up or a wax pen of some sort. I was just trying to move quickly for the video, so I used my base liquid to grab it and place it on the nail. Once I'm happy with it, then I'm going to let the base liquid dry, and then we're going to clear encapsulate. So once it's fully dry, I'm going to do another layer across my entire nail. This is going to protect the color and those foil pieces when we go to file and shape. Once it's dry, I'm going to dust off that excess clear, apply some activator, and then let that dry for 2 minutes, and then we can file and buff. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, so just going around that free edge area first, and then a buffing block over top to smooth it all out. Now we're going to apply another layer of activator and then let that dry for 2 minutes before top coat. Top coat's going to be the same steps, 3 quick strokes on the nail, and then let that dry before going in for the second layer. So once this is dry, I'm going to go in for my second coat. I do wish I would have done this matte because I found it really hard to see on the camera the design. I think it didn't do it justice because the shine is hiding the beauty underneath. So definitely a tip if you want to see it pop a lot more, try doing this design with matte. I also want to reiterate the reason we do 2 layers of the lines is to give it dimension. So don't be afraid to not completely cover that first line. It's what makes it look blended and gives it such a more natural effect. It's amazing to think how many different designs you can do with just 2 dip powder colors. So we've done Baby Boomer. Now I've shown you a rose quartz design. Next up, y'all, the classic French. I've got my handy dandy recycling tray here. I use it all the time for French, for marble. You can see the trays come out, so it's great for the pour over method. If you struggle with getting a crisp smile line for French manicures, this little tool is amazing. I'm going to start by pouring the white into this top section here. We're going to fill it all in and then tap it to level it out. You can also tap it on your desk as well. I've also got my pink open and ready so I can pour it over top here. I've got my base liquid here, everything's out and ready because we do need to move quickly. So I'm going to do a full layer across my entire nail and then ever so slightly and slowly guide my nail into the white powder. This is in real time again, it is not sped up. Once I'm happy with it, I'm going to let it just sit there for a second and absorb into the base liquid. Then I'm going to slowly pull my finger out and gently tap the excess off. I see I have a little bit more, so I'm going to tap it off. Again, all of this is in real time. I'm just checking my smile line, and then we're going to pour the pink powder over the rest of our nail and tap off the excess. Once it's fully dry, then we can dust off the excess powder. So don't forget to level out your white for your next layer. Then with our base liquid, we're gonna go across the entire nail again. It is normal for there to be a ridge where the white and the pink meet because you're dipping into the white and pouring over the pink. So we're gonna go in slowly again, and we're gonna use our first layer as our guide. So once I see it hit that line where it meets the pink, I'm gonna stop there. I'm just letting it absorb for a second and then slowly pulling my nail out. All of this is in real time again, gently tapping off the powder and then making sure I get that pink on the base liquid before it dries. Once it's fully dry, then we're going to dust off the excess and do a layer of clear. So this clear layer is going to help us when we file in shape to level out that ledge. So the ledge again is from dipping in and then pouring over. So we're going to let this dry, dust it off, and then activate. Once this activator sat on our nail for 2 minutes, then we can file in shape. Now we can do another layer of activator and then let this dry again for 2 minutes before top coat. Now for top coat, it's going to be the same exact steps as the other designs. 3 quick strokes, let it dry, and then go in for a more detailed layer. I know I raved about these products in my last video, and honestly, I stand by that now. Seeing I was able to do all of these designs and you saw it was in real time, I was not rushing, and they turned out beautifully. So if you have been on the fence with OPI, I 10 out of 10 still recommend them, and I stand by my last review. I'd love to hear which of these designs you've tried or which one you want to try next. I love each of these for different reasons, but I think the rose quartz was my favorite, although the French is just so classic and the baby boomer so trendy. Anyways, thank you so much for being here and for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all next week.